back. This is episode 43 of the Taproom Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. What a day. What a freaking day. I got to, this morning, I got to go over to ISM over in Long Beach. I got to interview Ian McCall, of all people. And man, it was so fun. We got to, we hung out, got to have a few beers, I had to, not sample, but try some of their beers or some of his beers. And man, that place is awesome. The hospitality, the courtesy from all them, from everybody that working there was really great. And they have amazing beers and they have some great food. I got to try some of their, they shave their tri-tip. Man. And a part of their rub is coffee grounds. I had never seen that before. But man, it was fucking delicious. It was so good. But yeah, I got to go record over there today and it was just a blast. And they had some New Zealand, they had a New Zealand, one called Kiwi Fingers, and they had one called Lagrope, which was their New Zealand Pilsner. Holy shit. It was so good. But this week's episode is with Jara. I got to record with Jason and Derek a few weeks ago. And, I've been I've been really excited about this episode because they're just really good dudes. Like, you get to meet people and be able to, chit chat with them and try some of their beers. Honestly, like, I couldn't have talked to two better people, and and they're best friends, and they've been brewing together. They've known each other for, I don't know how many years, or to quote Mr. Feeney, he's just like, card member since 1957, quoting Boy Meets World. So might have had a few today. It happens. No, but honestly, they're awesome. So, but, this week, so I don't have one of their beers right now. All their beers are great though. So definitely go down to there, but I did want to support another Norwalk, brewery. So this one, that I'm going to be drinking today is La Mano, from Norwalk Brew House. It's like a loteria style can. It's fucking awesome. I mean, and honestly, he's a really good dude. I've talked to him a little bit, on Instagram. So I'm going to crack this sucker open. Here we go. Let's do this thing. Oh yeah. Gotta love that sound. Gotta love that crack. Here you go. Oh, so it's a Mexican style lager. It says use your hand to do the work that turns the world right side up. You gotta love that too. And let's see what the percentage is. Coming at 4.5, so crushable, obviously. You don't have to worry about getting, super shit-faced or anything like that. Here we go. I've had this beer before, and it is freaking delicious. Actually, I think it was Veto that they got me into this one. Well, from Norwalk Brew House. Hey, one thing I loved, and I got to talk about, with Jason and Derek, and even today with Ian over at ISM, is the amount of just the community. Like, you get to, they come together, like everybody supports one another. It's not like other, kind of industries where it's not like, where you kind of like, this is our territory and shit like that. Or with craft beer, it's like, dude, it's awesome. But this beer is killer. So if you get a chance to, like, I got this one from Louis over in Azusa. So shout out to Lucy, shout out to Dre, shout out to all of them. It's just a solid Mexican lager. So if you're into that, you can make it a Michi, you can do all that sort of stuff. I'm not a Michi guy, but if you're into that sort of stuff, boom, have at it, Haas. But before we jump into the interview this week, we got some headlines, mostly baseball. Ohtani, $700 million to the Dodgers. Holy shitballs. That's a lot of money. I remember thinking when I was a kid, when A-Rod signed like a 10-year, $250 million contract, thinking that was like, holy crap, that was like a big deal. But Ohtani signed 10 years, $700 million. And, obviously everybody here listening knows I'm a Braves fan. But I'm not saying that the Dodgers aren't going to win anything this year. Like, they're probably going to win the West. That's fine. They've been doing it for years. But I still don't think, are they going to be able to afford pitching? Because they need it. I know they got kids. They got some kids going and, stuff like that. But you still have Clayton. Who knows what Walker Buehler's going to be like. It's his second Tommy John. So we'll see. I just, sometimes it's kind of putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. But, it depends. Everything kind of depends on their pitching. You can have the best lineup in baseball. And the Braves are proof of it last year. First round, knocked out by the Phillies. So, we'll see what happens. But also, Juan Soto went to the Yankees. Still don't think they have enough pitching. You can have all the bats you want. You can have Giancarlo. You can have Aaron Judge. You can have Juan Soto. But if you don't have the pitching, then that's what the playoffs are about. It's about pitching. You can have the greatest regular season of all time as the 2001 Seattle Mariners and still be dog shit and then get bounced in the first round. So we'll see. Well, the Yankees also did get Verdugo from the Red Sox. And I don't know. I'm not sold on the Yankees. That's all. Kimbrel went to the Orioles. The Orioles are a young team. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, but that whole division is tough. You have the Red Sox, you got the Yankees, you got the Orioles, you got the Blue Jays. That's a tough division to play in, man. It's not like the NL West where you got the fucking Rockies and honestly, the D-backs are getting better, so can't really knock them that much, but I still feel it's not as competitive as it would be like the AL East. And the D-backs did get Eduardo Rodriguez from they signed him in free agency from the Tigers, so good for them. I think that's all I kind of got this week. Not going to talk NBA because, it's like, I don't know. It's NBA, I guess. If you're into it, cool. If not, I love my Bulls, but we're still kind of dog shit. And, it is what it is. All right. Well, also, at the end of the episode, I'm going to put in the What's New at Noble. I got to talk to Josh yesterday, so that was fun. From Noble, went to Green Sheik, not Green Sheik, Brewery X. And then back to Noble again with Greg from Brewery X. So I hope you guys enjoy the interview with Jason and Derek from La Jara. So definitely go down there. It's just off the 5 freeway. They're really good people. They make really good beer. So, support local, drink local, do all that sort of stuff. All right. Well, you will hear from me after the What's New at Noble, after the interview. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room. I am your host, Mike, and I have a couple of very special guests on today. I have Jason and Derek, founders of La Jara Brewing in Norwalk, California. If you're on the 5 freeway, just hop off on Carmenita right on Excelsior and come down and enjoy some of their delicious beer. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How you
doing? Good.
It's good, man. Glad to hear it. I'm glad we got to do this. I got to meet you, Derek. What's it called? When was that? A couple of weeks ago, over with Brian when we had Big Brian's meets.
That's right. Yeah.
So we got to have a fun conversation, and I was like, man, we gotta record this. So, could you guys tell us like how you guys kind of started your craft beer journey, or how like how'd you get here?
Sure.
Yeah.
You want to start?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think we were. I don't remember the year. Do you?
So we started homebrewing in 2013, 2012.
Yeah, and then I think by 2018. No, when did we start quitting jobs? And there was a point where it became pretty serious, right? And
Yeah,
it was
of course.
It was an idea, and then we spent a couple years planning and just brainstorming and what would we want it to be and what would we want it to look like and how would we execute it technically. Like, what equipment is needed, what setup did you want to use, right? We had a lot of time just brainstorming that. And then I think one day we had lunch and it was just, we both had pretty good jobs that were not very fulfilling, and it was like looking for an adventure. And like most friends, we enable each other's bad behavior. So he says, "Hey, let's jump off a cliff," and I'm like, "Here I come.
Let's go."
Yeah. So yeah, that was about it. And then once that happened, I think, and we stopped our day jobs. It's kind of the typical American approach of just save up all your money and then quit and spend it. Like, it's not a very advanced fundraising technique. But luckily, like, both of our wives work and were able to support us while we did that transition, and still are supporting us while we work here. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a long journey, man. I mean, it was like doing the home brewing.
Yeah.
That's when it all started in our, in the driveway.
Yeah.
Just brewing out of there twice a week or twice a month.
Yeah. Dang. I mean, do you guys remember what your first homebrew was, or the first style you did?
Yeah, it was a blonde ale.
How was it?
Terrible. As they so often are.
Yeah. Well, they always say the first pancakes to throw away.
when your goal is drinkable, though,
Yeah.
terrible is
It was sickly sweet. It was just like, I still have a bottle of it in my office.
Oh,
at
that's
home.
cool though.
So it's up there, and like I don't even want to open it. Just because it's it's a little bit of nostalgia, but it's also like probably gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Those were DME brews too, right? Like
Those were like the little
box kits.
the homebrew club or the homebrew shop.
Yeah.
Sells the little box kits, and I was like, take it home, do it on your stove, and brew it up. And it was just like, well, we made something.
Of course.
But that one it was enough of a kind of like the process kind of tickled us to just like, hey, this is pretty cool. Let's try this again.
Yeah.
And just kept doing it. And then we finally got to a point like, hey, this is actually beer. This is getting there.
Yeah.
And then just keep going and going, and then you get in that loop where you just kind of keep more equipment. Got to buy a new kettle.
Mm-hmm. We're every homebrew store's best friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
We started at the bucket and went all the way up, and it's like
There was a year where we were at Steinfeller's homebrew shop in Long Beach, where we were like on the list of like top spenders.
Yeah.
Because we were in there twice a month buying all kinds of stuff.
Awesome.
For brews.
Do you remember the first one you were like, damn, this is good?
the apricot. I
The
think.
apricot blonde, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds pretty solid.
That was like the base beer. Actually, that was the first beer we're like, damn, this is pretty good. Let's put this in a competition.
Yeah.
And it actually ended up winning gold in that competition.
Oh, that's cool.
For the category.
Yeah.
And actually, the base beer of that apricot blonde is what became Annabelle Blonde or Blonde Ale on Tap.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to have to try that.
It's changed over the years, but it's always been solid.
Yeah. But that's the one thing, I think I mentioned it to you when we were here with Brian, that one thing I love about brewers, it's never good enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like, it's good. Or someone can tell you, man, this is the best blonde I've ever had. And they're like, yeah, it's good, but I mean, I can tweak it a little bit, right? Yeah. There's always something you can add.
Otherwise, why do it?
Yeah.
It's like I've done it, do a spin in your office chair and
right.
just drop the mic.
Oh, for sure.
No way.
Yeah, you'd be like, no pun intended. But no, I feel the same way. Even like when it came to this show, it was like I started off with like kind of mics that were like not all that great, and then I was just like, well, I need to buy a new laptop. But now I need to buy new microphones because I want better quality and better kind of content for
Tools
everybody.
are fun to use when they're good quality.
Oh, for
when
sure.
They're bad quality.
Yeah.
The experience is not as pleasant.
Throw them.
No doubt. But when did this place when did you think like, oh, this is actually happening, or this is like reality now? This is going to be our spot.
Like this particular physical location?
Or just opening the brewery.
That was like, well, like Jason mentioned earlier, there was a point where we both, he hated his job and my job was going away.
Yeah.
I just had 2 kids, twin boys, and so I was kind of just staying at home and taking care of them, and it was like a good jumping off point for both of us to like pursue something. So that's when we just heavily leaned into that and started doing a business plan. I think it was 2016.
Okay.
And that, in itself, that took a little over a year to put together and get everything hashed out and how we actually wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. And then from then on, I was looking for locations and just going around to a lot of properties, talking to a lot of landowners and getting told no.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
A lot.
I bet. Because I feel like even though it was like, during that time, I still feel like not craft beer was like in its infancy, but it was not as big as it is like now, where it's like it's crazy big now. Like well, way back when, like when I first started drinking craft beer, it was like Stone was like the most easily accessible thing for me down in like was it San Marcos? Yeah. And but then now it's like there's a lot more everywhere. But I mean, when you put out a quality product, people find it
For sure.
Yeah, and that's like
The internet's good for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People walk up with Untapped on their phones and say hi.
Yeah.
Like, no pressure. Those are the most stressful customers.
Oh, I bet. I always, because I mean, I don't have an Untapped, but like, I mean, I have a bunch of friends that use it, and the only thing that ever gets me about that is like the guy that walks up, he's like, "Oh, this isn't really my style," and he gives it like a 1.
Right.
And I'm like, "But come on, man.
Why did you
Order something you like."
Well, let's just say it's like Amazon reviews.
Oh yeah.
The box came destroyed or whatever, and then they give it a 1 star. It's like, no reflect on the product.
I know for sure, but that's so you started. When did you actually open?
So we opened in 2020. 2022.
Oh, I was gonna say, was it COVID?
Sorry, we signed our lease in 2019, and then we were kind of like trapped in purgatory.
Yeah,
we were under construction when COVID hit.
Yeah.
So luckily, I mean, we didn't have to close. We were still permitting, but it slowed everything down quite a bit. Like
I bet.
All the county offices and the city, everybody was kind of reeling, just trying to figure out how to do normal business.
Yeah.
So everything just took longer. But the result is, like most of what you see in here is homemade, handmade.
Yeah.
And because we had time, awesome. So we learned how to do stuff.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I love it in here, and I love all the artwork too. And I wanted to ask you guys too, like, because I think you mentioned it to me before, but who does all the artwork? It's an employee, right?
Yeah, it's one of our bartenders.
Awesome.
It's a buddy of mine. We met like kind of randomly because both our kids were in like a daycare or like a City of Long Beach kind of like a little Parks and Rec thing for kids.
Okay.
And so I was wearing a beer sweater, he was wearing a beer shirt, and like, hey, what's up? And we started talking, and we were both like into home brewing at that time, and we just kind of hit it off. And then a couple of years later, when we were doing this, he kind of hit me up. He's like, hey, I can do murals. Like, oh, really? I can do murals. And he showed me a picture, and at the time he was working at Pelagic.
Oh, okay.
The ocean lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And he was doing this picture of him just doing this big, like, story-and-a-half mural on the side of an office.
Yeah.
Inside, and it was just beautiful. I'm like, whoa, yeah, I guess you can do murals. Yeah, come on down, man. And so he would come in here like 2 or 3 times a week while we're doing construction even, and
we would plan our construction activities around could there be dust in the air.
Oh yeah, with like the paint and stuff like that.
I was building the bar at the same time that he was painting.
Oh man, you built that board as well?
We did, yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
We built it's difficult for podcast listeners to see what I'm pointing to.
Oh, that's
There's lots of stuff around here.
Yeah, there'll be a reel.
That's all handmade. Yeah,
I blew out my left elbow welding and drilling through that steel.
Oh wow.
So I'm still dealing with that.
Oh man.
These tables, everything you see, like this was a rock shop before we moved in. They did kitchen countertops.
Okay.
So this was all scrap that they left behind. So we learned how to weld and made tables out of it.
That's awesome.
I think that's a part of the homebrew experience, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that DIY kind of,
for sure.
Because everything at home is janky, right?
Yeah.
And then you come here and it's all polished, but like that comes from a place of chaos.
Yeah. Thousands of hours of work, or practice, trying to get through it.
Getting it working, Finish the brew, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I wanted to ask you guys too, because I don't want to sound sappy, but like, what does La Jara mean to you?
Well, for me, I mean, the name of it all comes down to like our roots. Because La Jara is a street.
Yeah.
It's where we were brewing out of our garage in Long Beach.
That's awesome.
And so we kind of, when we were just doing home brewing, we would just call ourselves La Jara Brewing Company because that's where it was, right?
Yeah.
And I liked the name, and then we were kind of thinking of names for this place. We ran around with all kinds of different stuff, but it always ended up coming back to that one just because it kind of had a sentimental feeling, and it was unique. It's a flower, which is it's the Spanish rock rose that you kind of see growing out. I don't know. Once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. You start seeing everybody's garden. So we incorporated that to our logo and to our murals that you see here. So it's like it's become an identity, but it also kind of like, no matter hopefully the business takes off and how it'll always keep us grounded and remind us like where we came from. It's like
hard to not think of the garage.
Yeah, like I still use that first brew bucket for that first batch of beer. That's still in the brew house, and I use that.
That's awesome
for all kinds of stuff. But it doesn't leave. Like it's just always. We're kind of a sentimental bunch.
Oh, dude, so am I, man. Brewing
is just good fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Professional brewing is just stress.
Yeah.
So it's good to, it's good to remember, like, why do I like this? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, because we used to do it in the garage.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and it kind of just reminds you of the fun times and how to like bring that into this new environment, this chaos that we've gave birth to.
Yeah. And like, how long have you guys known each other?
1990, right?
Yeah,
We met freshman year in high school. Not
That's
to
awesome.
age us too badly.
Oh, it happens.
And kind of thick as thieves ever since then, from one hobby to the next, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that kind of that friendship and you have something you both like truly care about, like it makes it even that much better because you're doing it with someone. I mean, not to sound sentimental, but you're doing it with someone you love. You get
for
to
sure.
to kind of.
And when it fails, it doesn't sting as bad.
Yeah,
right?
because then at least you like, hey, we fucked up, but it's all right. We got to you pick yourselves up and keep on going. So this location, because you said like obviously people were like denying, like saying no and stuff like that. Was that just because it was a brewery? Because I know people like there was a certain stigma on people opening breweries,
It's a lot of different things. I think that certainly is an issue.
Yeah.
Two, we weren't an established brand.
Okay.
So if you're not a known, proven operator, it's a big risk, right? For landlords that you're going to be able to pay your rent or not. And three, any type of manufacturing business has a high level of tenant improvements, right? You're going to need plumbing work, you're going to need electrical work. And so a lot of those guys, if you spend a certain amount of money on a building, it triggers like seismic retrofits. Sometimes it triggers fire sprinkler retrofits.
It's all based on your construction.
Yeah,
costs.
so a lot of guys are just really hesitant people to have that conversation at all.
Yeah.
So you need to find somebody that likes beer and understands the difference between a brewery and a bar.
Yeah.
You need to find somebody who's interested in that type of activity and sees, this was a transition from a warehousing manufacturing business with no client-facing area at all into 100% client-facing area. So our landlord has the vision to see like, okay, I'm going to turn this in from a workshop into a public place.
Yeah.
And then how is that going to help me over the life of the building, right?
Of course.
So it's a combination of somebody who's willing to kind of hear your plans to address all three of those things and then give you some faith. We got pretty lucky, I would say. Yeah. Shout out, John. Hi, John.
There you go. That's awesome, though. So, when you guys finally opened your doors, you said it was 2022.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like? I'm sure that was kind of stressful.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was just like I remember it distinctly. It was opening day. It's like, okay, we got everything set up as best we can. The place looks nothing like it does now. It was so barren because we just crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
And then we open the doors. I get on Instagram and I kind of post this little post with like a bat signal going on from the front of the building. It's like, hey, come on down.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how so many people heard about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know how many followers we have, but it feels like it would have been they all just showed up.
Yeah.
Because we had thousands of people come through here that one day. I mean,
That's
people were just
awesome.
in the parking lot, walking down the street. It was like a circus.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable turnout.
We were having nightmares the week before. They're like, I'm going to hit the roll up and nobody's going to be here. It's just you and I drinking beer, just like at home.
Our neighbors might show up. But,
Instead, there were 2 lines of people outside the door wrapped around, like he said, all day. So it was pretty intense. And there wasn't a whole lot of time to think about it because it was a long, busy day. But we very quickly realized we didn't have enough of most things. But it was great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well,
But like he said, construction finished on a Tuesday, and then there was a soft opening on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So there was no transition time. We were literally vacuuming dust out of here like the night before. So
paint's still wet on this wall. Don't
because when you set the target, you want to hit it. And it's like, well, we could push it another week, but just at some point you have to just birth it. And be done.
That's like such a like awesome thing to hear because it's like you're not sure because you're taking this huge risk and then to see it all kind of pay off on that opening day, that's got to be like so gratifying. Like,
and hearing people's stories, like there wasn't a whole lot of time to talk to people on the first day, but a lot of people thankful because there hasn't been anything in this neighborhood forever. And they're used to leaving and going to other cities to go drink and to go party and to go have great beer. They used to say Norwalk was the town you drove through to go get craft beer. Yeah. So like I've had people actually say that to me and say, thank you so much for being here. So I think it luckily went into the right, geography, like freeway access was all really good. So it helped pick the spot, but we got blessed with a community that was eager to have us here. And that's really buoyed our spirits the whole way.
Yeah. And that's awesome because you guys are like 10 minutes from me. So I mean, it's like now I can just, I'll be your norm. Come on down. But no, I mean that's it's really motivating to hear stuff like that, because like one of the reasons why I started this show, or started the tap room change, when I changed it to the tap room, I wanted it to be like to hear your guys' stories, because if it motivates one person to like get out there and try, like, hey man, I can do that, or I can try home brewing, or I can, I've been home brewing for a long time, but I want to start, a brewery, and they can hear your story and be like, dang, like, well, if they did it, why can't I? So
it's a lot of hard work.
That's I bet.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah, it's like nothing you've ever done in your life.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, and that's like kudos to you guys for, sticking through it all, for all those years. Are you guys originally like from like this area, or are you guys from like Long Beach, or where are you guys from?
I grew up in Artesia, just next door.
Oh, dang, you're right.
So I used to work at the Circuit City over here in Norwalk.
Oh, yeah. The one just past the 5 Points over there?
Yeah.
I remember. I used to go there as a kid.
So if you ever bought a radio or a TV, a computer,
okay,
I might have been the guy that sold it to you.
There you go. And how about you, brother?
Same, kind of worked in the area, down near
Okay.
La Mirada, live in Long Beach.
Okay.
But yeah, we went to Bosco and Bellflower. So
Oh, yeah.
for high school, so this is kind of where we grew up. Just
Yeah.
This whole
We
general
always
area,
messed
so-
around in this area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was so weird to come back here and be looking for spots. Like, God, why didn't we think of this first? Why wasn't this
Yeah.
the first place?
And it's so close to our houses.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had a couple of roommates that I lived with for a few years. We lived right off of Excelsior and Pioneer. So
Okay,
we used to make the drunk walk to In-N-Out all the time. But yeah, as soon as you walked into that house, it was a pool table and usually a kegerator with Stone or Pabst in it. Or it was one of the two. It was either really good or really bad.
So 8-ball or 9-ball?
Pretty much. 9-ball for the most part. My buddy is really good at 8-ball, but I'm not very good at pool. Like, I can hit the shots that you don't think I would hit, but then it's like the easiest shot I'm going to miss.
We spent quite a few hours playing pool as kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over at Hard Times.
Oh, okay. I
Belfort.
used to go to Scratch way back when.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I don't even know if Scratch is still around.
Scratch? Yeah, they're still around.
so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, actually, we're looking at a tap account.
Yeah. Well, somebody suggested it to me recently.
Yeah.
Like one of their regulars said, "Oh, how come I can't get your beer there?"
Oh, yeah.
So, well, I can fix that.
Because we don't have a 10% plus beer at the time.
Well, that might be it.
Yeah, they're like barrel aged.
They like bigger
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
That's- that probably was
big beers.
Yeah. And speaking of beers,
Yeah.
even though we're in a brew, do you guys have a favorite style like you like to brew or like and drink? Oh, we'll do brew and drink.
Brew and drink.
Yeah.
I love to brew lager beer.
Okay.
Just because it's kind of very technical.
Yeah.
But it also kind of ties into the kind of beers I like to drink. I love drinking lager beers too.
Yeah.
But I love West Coast IPAs.
Okay.
And those are very, very technical beers too.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of geek out over all the nuts and bolts and all the screws you can turn to affect different things. And the same goes for lager beers. It's like you have to.
Yeah, like I feel like pilsners and lagers, like that's like I will always judge a brewery by those. Like the
Right.
first thing I'm gonna do is try that, and then I'll like, all right, if that's good, then everything else is probably pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's the adage you mentioned. It was like the egg,
the egg.
the fried egg.
Yeah.
If I can cook a perfectly
Easy to screw
restaurant,
up.
Yeah.
you try the fried egg, and if it's good, then move on to other things.
Yeah.
Yep. And how about you?
I'm a home brewer and
Yeah.
have never surpassed that level of
That's okay, though.
expertise. So in terms of what I think the last beer I brewed was a Vienna lager for my wedding. That was
Ooh.
probably like 6 years ago. So
Oh.
it's been a minute. Drinking, I'm not a real hophead, though I had a West Coast Pils last week that
Okay.
I really liked. I was kind of surprised, but the flavors going on there were really good.
Yeah.
And I like some weird stuff. I like Berliner Weisses and some odd German sours, and just weird. Anything he makes for
Yeah.
sure is amazing. But I don't generally gravitate towards the IPAs. Just smoother lagers, easier to drink. Stuff.
Oh yeah, and plus like you can have a bunch of them, and you don't have to worry about being on the
yeah,
floor or in the bathroom, hugging the toilet or anything. Good, because I love West Coast. West Coast is probably my go-to. That and like I had a New Zealand stout pilsner the other day. I was like, holy crap! Anything with New Zealand on it, just give it to me or take
had-
my money.
You ever had Gandalf the Crisp?
Yeah.
It's just,
Oh, I don't think I've had that one. No.
oh yeah, it's a New Zealand Pilsner.
Oh, I'll have to try that.
Nice.
Nice. What was it like when it came to craft beer? What was it that did it for you? What was it like, man, I need to, or what was the thing that made you want to get into homebrewing? Was it something that was just like you try to I know some people try like stuff at like, they're like, oh, I was at this one place and I was like, this is what beer could be.
Yeah.
So what was that for you guys?
It was
It's a Groupon.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just Groupon. No, I mean, actually, my wife is to blame for all this.
Okay.
Because we were in Long Beach and we were stopping at this Jack in the Box, and across the street is the Steinfeller's homebrew shop. She's like, hey, you want to go check that out and see what's...
Yeah.
So we walked in there, and I had no intention of ever brewing beer, but then I ended up walking out there with a book and a bucket.
That's awesome.
Started
John Palmer book?
The John Palmer book, How to Brew.
Yeah,
Awesome.
John Palmer book. It's a good book.
And it was... that's kind of how it all started. It's all her fault.
Yeah. She only has herself to blame.
Well, he likes to cook and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
that's the thing, too. She knew I liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is adjacent to a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
I love wine and I love to cook, so it's like I love the whole gastronomy and culinary approach to different things.
Yeah.
Like finding balance and acidity, and so it's like being a foodie. It's kind of like, well, let's try that with beer, and that's And I liked craft beer, and the one that kind of got me into just craft beer in general was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Oh yeah.
It was just a classic beer.
Oh, for sure.
A buddy of mine graduated from Cal State Chico.
Okay.
So we went up there, and it's like, there was one bar was doing $1
Yeah.
pints of Sierra Nevada beer. So.
There it is.
But they had Bigfoot on tap, so you know what
nice.
I went for.
Yeah.
That was a rough night. But the beer that kind of like blew my mind and thought like, this is what beer could be, would probably be like Ballast Point's Intra Canindra.
Okay.
It's a kind of a throwback beer.
Yeah.
But it was like an Indian spice curry, kind of crazy. I mean, it was absolutely just bonkers.
Yeah.
It was like you're drinking curry, but it was beer.
Yeah.
There's still a beer in there. That was just amazing. Like, this is what people are doing.
Yeah.
So that's like really got me kind of like the bug of what you could do.
Yeah.
We started hanging out at breweries and started meeting brewers. And like, we're blessed. We have a great community of local breweries. By local, I mean, 30 mile.
Yeah.
Super cooperative, super informative, non-competitive, right? Like, we just call and ask random questions, very specific, like questions you probably wouldn't want to answer to a random stranger, but stuff that if you're just opening up, you kind of need to know.
Oh, for sure.
And they'd share, right?
Yeah, Jim Bayer over at Skyline Ales in Corona. He's like, oh, you guys want to know what? And he just brought us into his back office and brought out all his drawings and permits. Like, this is what you got to do, and like, just kind of like gave us the whole behind the scenes. Like, this, you're gonna need the fire marshal, and this. It was super cool.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
That's awesome.
Lots of breweries, lots of help. Even like going to other breweries and helping out on brew days when they have the same equipment that we do, just so that we could get some time on it before it counted. Helping other people do construction so that we could learn on their floor and not ours.
Of course.
The community is great. So that's a big part of why we want to do this. 'Cause I think without that kind of help, you're not going to get there unless you have corporate backing or
You hire experts.
if you hire, you're right. But if you can't afford to do that, you got to learn it the old-fashioned way. And that is just kind of hat in hand, right? It's kindness of strangers.
Yeah, it's baptism by fire.
For sure.
But and I mean that's the one thing I love about the craft beer community. It's like everybody's like, I mean, most of the people I talk to are obviously, or sometimes I hear back from people, sometimes I don't. But then that's okay though, because everybody's busy, especially like you're running a place.
That's crazy.
It's I can only imagine how busy it is. But like everybody's been so nice, and everybody's just been like super like welcoming and like, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it. And every time I talk to a brewer, they always have a story like you guys just had about like going to other breweries and be like, hey man, I can't figure out this issue, and they're like, oh dude, just do this. And you're like, oh.
Duh.
We've had it happen. I've had guys come in here just to check it out and have a drink. They'd be wearing a sweater from another brewery. And I'd be like, oh, hey, you work at so-and-so. And start chatting and walk out with 3 or 4 tips I'd write down and text him. Like, so-and-so just mentioned this.
Adrian at Brujeria came in and he tried, I think I had my seltzer in the tank and I wasn't here, but Jason talked to him and gave him a tour. And he gave him all kinds of tips on like how to ferment it out. And it was awesome.
A sour yeast tip from somebody too. I'm trying to remember who that was. But keep your ears open.
Yeah.
Know that you don't know and just take everyone's advice and just it helps you grow and improve.
Exactly. And that's all we're trying to do is I always quote Red from Shawshank. Get busy living or get busy dying. Oh man, but I really love you guys do cans as well, right?
We do.
Yeah, we have a little benchtop canner. It's just to kind of like hand canning to go.
Awesome.
That's on our bucket list for 2024.
Not bucket list.
Well, bucket.
Yeah. The bucket's
That
back.
implies a catastrophe.
No. It's on our list of things. Like get a small little cannon thing, so we can run off a bunch of cases of a particular brand.
Oh, for sure.
So get rid of that. Get rid of that.
This is first stage
Yeah.
to go delivery.
That's awesome though, man. Like, you guys, it seems like you guys have like from beginning to end. I know there was like obviously little bumps along the road, especially like a big one with COVID, but you see that like just hearing you guys talk about it, like that growth from beginning to where you are now, and it's only going to go even further, especially with the kind of stuff that you guys are putting out.
I hope so.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I think some of the beers are on the menu all the time because they're so popular, and I think they get better almost every time he makes them.
Oh yeah.
So, there's a mad scientist back there.
Well, like you said, you're never done.
Yeah.
So I always change stuff. I don't tell people, but I change a little thing here, change a little thing, and then someone will notice, like, oh wow, it's a little punchier this batch. I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you what I did.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I'm sure that makes you like feel like you want to talk about it because because you want those people to notice those little subtle nuances or changes in a beer because like sometimes you get it, like you'll hear like, oh, that hit the palate a little different, but it like in a good way.
Yeah. And that's been the community has just been so supportive of our business here. Mm-hmm. So we have this huge pool of regulars. Yeah. So I get this feedback. They know some of our most regular bar staff or customers will kind of know like, hey, this particular beer has changed a little bit, and I go, I'm like a week or 2 weeks behind, cleaning the beer lines because I'm backed up on my stuff. Mm-hmm. But they know this stuff because they're just in here all the time. So it's just like, hey, dude, I got this beer in the tank, and I'll just bounce it off them. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And it's just they're so receptive that and they love it.
It's good though, right? If they didn't notice it, you'd kind of be like,
it's like performing to an empty room or something like that.
Well, we had to change an ingredient in one beer once because it wasn't available to a cheaper product, and it was noticeable. And I was happy people noticed it, because otherwise, why we made the wrong choice going with the more expensive ingredient in the first place. Right? So
So you mentioned you like cooking. Mm-hmm. What kind of stuff do you like to cook? Are you going to be cooking for Thanksgiving coming up?
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Of course, yeah.
It starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I love cooking. Pretty much my favorite thing to cook. It sounds like kind of basic, but it's fried chicken.
Okay. But you can still mess up fried chicken.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like anything poultry, like brining turkeys, and like nice, just comfort food. Okay. Because I was like, as a kid, my mom's favorite dishes were always like the rich comforting dishes. So, that's what I look forward to holidays like this because I get to just cook out for everybody.
There you go.
Do a giant turkey and start 2 or 3 days ahead and brine it.
I've always wondered about the brining process because I'm like, what is that? Like, I mean, is it pickle juice or what do you brine it in, or is it vinegar? I don't even know.
Salt and sugar.
Salt and sugar.
That's a basic. Poultry brine is salt, sugar, and some aromatic salt. Pepper. I like adding a little orange juice. To my brine to give it. If you ever had Costco chicken, like that's what makes it so damn addictive.
Oh, gotcha. Didn't know that.
A little bit of orange juice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
How about that? Go check the chicken.
Yeah. How about you, Jason? Any other stuff that you're into, like outside of the
hobbies? And don't really have a lot of time for hobbies in my old life. I like gaming and movies. And TV.
Do you have
that's about it.
Like video games?
Yeah, PC video games. I was a comp science major, so like I usually have PCs. I never had consoles when I was in school, so it's all PC. Just movies and.
Do you have
all
a favorite
the stuff
movie?
Everybody likes. Favorite movies?
I mean, maybe because I know that's a loaded question, but
probably Doctor Strangelove.
Okay.
Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Wrath of Khan would have to be in there. I'm a big Star Trek nerd. So
it's okay.
Don't even go there.
It's all right. I like both. I'm like the weirdo, so like I like both Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. But I know there's some people that are like, oh, you got to like one or the other. It's like, come on.
I never get disappointed either. Like. So that's bad Star Trek or bad Star Wars. It's just more.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just,
Some are better than others, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just, sometimes that's life, though. Like, sometimes you do good shit, sometimes you do bad shit. So, but Wrath of Khan's, that's a banger for sure.
It's prime choice.
Oh, yeah.
Lebowski, it's hard not to like.
Oh, yeah. Big Lebowski is great. I think they're doing a Big Lebowski night over at Long Beach Beer Lab in a couple of weeks.
Really?
So it's like I'm pretty stoked to go to that.
Bathrobes and White Russians.
Oh yeah.
That'd be great.
And you guys do some merch. Does the same guy do the merch as well?
Yeah, Danny does our merch.
Awesome.
He does our murals and he does our social media now.
Oh, cool.
So it's like if you see all the cool artwork that's now showing up on our Instagram feed, that's Danny at work.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. And I love because you mentioned Brewhead earlier. Like I got to talk to Augustine. It was feels like a year ago, but it was just about a year ago actually. But I feel like Montebello, Norwalk, Pico, and even Whittier now too. Like with Whittier Brewing, everybody's been just super nice and and the beer's good. And you can like you said before, you would drive through Norwalk to get to the Orange Counties and get beer. Now you don't have to do that. So I think that's really cool.
But continue after you stop here. Continue.
Yeah.
There's still great breweries.
Yeah, go visit Radiant down the
place.
street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Unsung.
Oh, I love Unsung. Mike's such a nice guy. Yeah. Did you guys ever talk to him when you guys were starting this or anything like that?
I'm like a lot of our friends when we were getting started, all the LA County, Orange, Long Beach breweries, with a couple on Riverside.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite breweries to go to when you started homebrewing?
Dude, Smog City was
Oh yeah, Smog City. For
Smog
sure.
City's got
Monkish before they blew up.
Oh yeah.
So when they did Belgians.
Yeah.
Was the one in Fuller still there?
Bootleggers.
Bootleggers.
Oh yeah. Bootleggers.
I think that's the first double IPA I ever tasted was Knuckle Sandwich.
OG Knuckle
there you go.
Bootleggers, right? And I'm like, wow, that's a good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed. It's evolved.
Oh sure, I haven't had it in a while, but that was the first one I love that outdoor patio, the seating they have out there. I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
Well, before it used to be in this corner parking.
Yeah.
Industrial.
Good job, guys. Nice spot.
Yeah, we used to go there for trivia nights. Was it either Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights? I can't remember, but it was always fun going for trivia nights. I'd be a little gone at the end of the night, but
As one does.
yeah, just start shouting out answers to random questions.
For sure.
Yeah, our trivia go-to spot now is Rip.
Oh yeah, Rip. I know it was Ian. Though Ian left Rip now, but I feel like a lot of people have left Rip, but they still put out quality stuff.
It's a springboard.
Oh yeah, that's what it seems like. Because I know Ryan's still there, but I know when Ian left, and he opened up Ism, I think. But
Yes.
he was opening up Ism.
Should be open on. I think soft opening this weekend or something.
Yeah, he was doing a soft opening, and I think I don't know when the grand opening is, but I was like, yeah, gotta go try some more beer. So that's awesome. But it's so cool though. I feel like, at least in my opinion, there's not really a community like the craft beer community because everybody is so welcoming, and you get to, like you said, bounce ideas off each other, and need help if you need help. They're willing to do that. So.
That's what attracted us to this. Because before this, before I got into all this, I used to work in the video game industry.
Yeah.
So it was like this. We were, back in the early 2000s. It was just E3 was still an industry-only event, and we go over there, meet there all the time. And it was just a lot of fun and camaraderie, and all the developers are hanging out. And now it got all corporatized, and all the small developers got crushed, and then our developer was something like that.
Yeah.
It lost its soul, lost its fun, and that's kind of it popped over to this industry because it had that vibe.
Yeah.
So everybody had been going to craft breweries, and everyone's super cool. It's wow, even the ownership and everything. So they're all for the most part, they're all really cool.
Yeah, because they're just they're average Joes like us, not to quote dodgeball or anything. But,
Fantastic.
It's a lot of hard work. Know that you've heard the story. Brewing is 75% custodial and engineering work, right?
And then you get 25% of brewing.
Yeah, it's true.
20% waiting.
People say, "Oh, can we come watch?" So you really don't want to do that.
Yeah, because we're here to get put to work.
It's pretty boring, man.
Do you guys have any? Since you guys opened, have you guys had any fun kind of tap room stories or any craziness?
Yeah, there's some. No, one of the coolest things, at least for me, that has come out of having the tap room is just the camaraderie with with our customers.
Yeah.
And we have regulars that support us, and now they go with us to beer festivals.
That's awesome.
So they're hey, I'll run I'll pour the beers, and they know our menu back and forth. They know everything. It's amazing. And so it frees me up to go talk to other brewers and kind of get reconnect with them. And
and they've become ambassadors of ours. And
yeah.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Charlie? There's two. they talk about the beer and the brand, and we don't have to. That's any customer will tell you. That's a lot more valuable than watching me walk around, like telling you how great it is. So, and they mean it, and they're happy to do it. They want us to be successful. They want us to be here for a long time. They want to keep coming, and yeah, it's great. They volunteer their time, and if somebody comes up to the bar and they're not sure and they're standing nearby, they'll help them pick a beer. Yeah, it's incredible.
We've even worked some of our regulars into the artwork for our beers.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And it's just kind of like as a thank you. It's like, a couple, like we had a German Pilsner we recently put out called The Usual Suspects.
Okay.
And it was, Chris and Charlie.
It was a silhouette of 5 regulars.
Like all our regulars that come in here and are just awesome. We've worked them into that, that iconic lineup for the artwork.
Yeah. That's so cool.
I mean, the way we do like beer art and signage is pretty fluid. Like Derek and Danny does all that design in house, so it doesn't go out. It can happen pretty quickly. So we were able to come up with kind of cool one-off ideas. And at small batch, at 10-barrel brew sizes, we can keep stuff rotating through pretty quickly.
For sure.
So we just have fun with it. And so long as they can find the time to come up with new artwork and a new name and a new theme, then the sky's the limit, right? So, yeah, the regulars like to see. In fact, Annabelle is my daughter's name.
Oh, that's cool.
She's a little blonde thing. We needed a name for the blonde, so every time I serve that, I think of her. And so, all of the beer names have some kind of connection. Most of them, anyway, have some kind of inside joke or meaning to us.
Yeah.
And they know all of those stories. So our regulars are writing biographies or something. It's kind of weird, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool.
No, that's freaking awesome. I would say so. No bad stories of anybody
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't tell into bad stories, but just funny. Anything funny for me.
If you sell alcohol to the public, you're going to have stories.
Nothing too bad though.
That's good though.
We've had one fight or two fights in the same night. One of them both with the same guy.
Yeah, so one fight.
So really one fight, but other than that, it's been super.
That's awesome.
I think, and a lot of it has to do with the kind of vibe we've established.
Oh, of course.
Because it could. I mean, we're down by the swap meet. People come out from the swap meet, and then they go. You can go party pretty hard at the Santa Fe Swing Swap.
Oh yeah.
But they come in here, and it's just it's a different vibe, and people respect it. They respect the house for them. We hardly get graffiti.
That's awesome.
And I mean, everything's still in good working order. And, which, I've heard comments that we have the nicest bathroom in Milwaukee.
some brewery bathrooms are rough.
Yeah. But it's just kind of like everyone appreciates this and doesn't want to mess it up, and that's
of course. I mean, the first time I was here, when I was here with Brian, I was like, man, this is such a true, like chill, kick-ass spot to now I want to come down on Fridays, I'll just have a couple beers and go home,
Have some barbecue.
Yeah. I mean, and he makes killer. His tri-tip chili is just ridiculous. Yeah. Now, how did you guys kind of connect?
That was
with Brian?
Yeah.
I think he reached out on social media to see if he could set up, and usually I do all of that kind of just chatting and meeting the vendors, and you talk to him right away, and he's one of us.
Yeah.
Like his personality. So it didn't take long to realize that we're kind of the same person. So, and he has a cool approach to barbecue, I think.
Yeah.
Barbecue gets expensive, right?
It does.
Beef prices, everything's through the roof. So he has some moderately priced options that are really tasty. I think it does really well, and he has the flexibility because he kind of does it full time. I think that for him it's easier to do weeknights. Like for us, a Friday night is great for barbecue.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, it's just kind of a random thing, but immediately when we connected with him, you could tell this is going to work.
Yeah.
And the same is true with a lot of our food vendors. It's just mostly they're locals, they're small businesses, they're mom and pops just like us. So availability is kind of limited, and they cancel because cars break down and kids get sick just like we do. So we're pretty understanding of all of that. But Brian has a level of professionalism.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I felt bad because I've been so busy with the show that he reached out to me a few times. It's like, oh yeah, we'll do it this weekend. Then something came up. But but it's life though, because I have my full-time job, but I can do this as my therapy, so I can sit here, have a beer, and talk to you guys.
That's cool.
Being able to do that, so I was like, man, but we finally hammered down the date, and we were able to come out and hang out. So it was fun, and I got to obviously meet you. So it was great, a great kind of happenstance or coincidence, I guess.
Yeah, if you sign yourself up with good people, they attract other good people, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's one thing we've learned for sure. Just cherish those that are close to you. And
Oh, 100%.
when we're looking for employees, we ask existing employees, who do you trust? Who do you want to work with? So everybody here is either family or close friend of family, or, even the caterers half the time are my family or Derek's family. So
That's awesome.
It's nice to work with all those folks. It's a different challenge for sure, but yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. And I love that because like that family aspect to it. Like you guys have, may not be brothers, but you are brothers. You guys have known each other for how long? And that's just, I don't know, it means the world to me because you can hear somebody, talk about what you guys can just bounce off each other. You guys don't need, you can probably finish each other's sentences more than likely. So when you have that kind of stuff and you get to work together, it's like, man, that's the dream.
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
And we have a
to you guys.
shorthand too, I think.
Yeah.
We kind of communicate quickly. He knows what I'm thinking, probably. Yeah. We say it very much.
Yeah.
He just sense Jason's rage meter. Where is Jason's rage meter?
No, that's awesome though. Since you like to cook, do you have like a favorite like food pairing that you would do like with a beer? Like what's your, if you were going to have like, I'm going to have this beer, I'm going to make this, what would you?
That's probably it's like that Pure Betty lager you're drinking. I like to back to the fried chicken.
Okay.
Pizza is also a solid option.
Yeah.
If I'm cooking at home, do something kind of rich. I like the acidity and fat contrast.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, do something like that.
Okay. And what about you? Do you have like a preference for
I
food?
call him.
Huh?
No, I call him.
Oh, there you go.
Say, here's
What
what's
should I
for
have with
dinner.
this?
What should I drink?
That's awesome. So, do you guys both like pizza?
Yeah. How can you not like pizza?
I know, but some people are crazy.
There's a
There's a
reason
lot of
why
different kinds of pizza.
it
Yeah,
goes
that's
well
true.
with so many different beers too.
Oh,
It's one of those like the toppings change the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so the reason why a lot of breweries have an attached pizza.
Yeah.
And you could be seasonal a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can just keep rotating ingredients.
I feel like, pizza, wings, and beer. Or pizza, wings, burgers, and beer. Like
Tacos, too, I would
tacos.
say.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think about that. Tacos are.
Just 'cause it's just a vehicle, right?
Oh, yeah. Just a vessel to go into my stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you guys have I don't know if you guys still get, a little shitty sometimes, but do you guys have a hangover cure if you guys did?
A hangover cure? It has been a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Pretty
once
high
it, once
now?
it becomes your occupation.
Yeah.
You drink like a fish.
Yeah.
I don't know, just coffee, maybe a little hair of the dog.
Okay. That was
Sometimes
me.
like a Kahlua and coffee
There you go.
first thing in the morning.
Nice. How about you, brother?
I can only think of the Ron Swanson line from Parks and Rec.
Oh, I
Have you
love
seen
Ron
that where he
Swanson.
says, I cook a flank steak and salted butter. I eat it, I put on wet socks and go to sleep for 10 hours. He says, does that work? It does. Next.
Oh, dang. So that actually works?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I was like, damn, now I kind of have to try
It
that.
sure sounds fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Ron is, people love The Office, and granted, The Office is hilarious. But I prefer Parks and Rec because I like Ron Swanson and, was it Chris Pratt, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, such a good show.
That's a great cast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that show, but you're always quoting.
Yeah.
And like watching YouTube clips, like, hey, check this out. Check this
Yeah.
out.
I'm always quoting that or like Cheers or like any of the older shows because I grew up like hanging out, stealing sips of my grandpa's beer.
Sure, yeah.
And watching Quincy or Columbo or any of those. Couldn't do MASH though. I wasn't a
Columbo.
MASH guy. Couldn't do it. Yeah,
My
I tried.
parents watched. It was like my bedtime was at 8 when I was a little kid. And I think MASH came on at 7 or something like that.
Okay.
It was like.
So you had to see it.
Yeah, it was that or go to bed. Right?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay.
Yeah. There's no. Well, I guess it was cable. Cable was like in infancy. I feel like when I was a
one
kid.
channel
Yeah.
was on TV.
And
Yeah.
TV stopped at
Select.
like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Remember that? It would turn into snow. There was no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. What do you mean
you got
it's
the
off?
moon landing, and then
Yeah.
that was it.
Wally George and the American flag.
Oh,
and then
God, Wally.
It would
Yeah.
just go to
Original.
like static.
Yep. Oh man, this has been super fun for me. I really appreciate you guys
Yeah, me too.
being willing to do it. Do you guys have any events coming up or anything like that? Like I can promote on the intros and then like for when the show comes
We
out?
just kind of finished festival season. I
Okay.
don't know. Is there much coming up?
Other than Christmas events,
Yeah. This is kind of a slow time of year
Yeah.
for most breweries.
Gotcha.
So we book a lot of private groups and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I'll just show up
Christmas
with my ugly
parties.
Christmas sweater or something.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah.
We have comedy coming back on. There's a bit of a hiatus because of the holiday, but the 30th.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Thursday the 30th, 7:30.
That's Sancho's birthday show.
That's his birthday
So
show.
that should be a good one. Yeah, November
Awesome.
30th.
Someone's getting a little sauced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting night.
There we go.
Come on down.
Come on down.
We're gonna
Water's
buy him
fine.
lots of drinks and hand him a microphone. That's
There
a
it
good
is.
combination with a comedian.
Oh yeah, that's always good. But like I said, man, I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come down here and have a beer with you guys and check out
this
this
is
place
cool.
again. And can't wait to film some stuff.
This
for
is a
real.
lot better than interviews, like TV interviews and that stuff.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is just chatting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if I say something stupid, you'll
No,
cut
you
it,
just
right?
let me know.
So-
I'll let it out.
Yeah, right.
Just edit it
Like
out.
we've done some TV stuff where, like,
Yeah.
you sit this close
Oh,
to
yeah.
each other.
You gotta get
you
a
have
frame
to,
and
Yeah.
you have to repeat the question when you're answering it because they're going to cut to you.
Yeah.
They're going to say like, "What's special about Lahara Brewing?" And then you say, "Well, what's special about Lahara Brewing?"
Yeah.
It's so alien, right?
Yeah.
You don't talk like that.
No, it's very unnatural. This is very natural.
Yeah, and that's why I've always wanted this to, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there have been maybe one or two interviews where I had where people were like, it took them a minute to realize I wasn't like grilling them. Like I'm just like we're just having a
He's
conversation.
drinking a beer. Wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah, we're just talking, and then but everybody else has been like, just like man, like super easy to talk to, and it's like that's why it just kind of it makes it easier because I don't ever want it to feel like an interview. I just want you to feel like, oh, we're just chatting. That's how we're like,
Yeah.
or like if you were sitting at the bar talking to someone for
Yeah.
45 minutes or an hour, that's what I always wanted this to be. But to be able to hear that story of your journey, opening the brewery, and like I said, if it can motivate one person, then I've
that's
done
cool.
my job. So,
That's low stress too. It's a good format.
oh yeah, and plus you get to have beers.
Yeah, get you access
Yeah.
to some cool people.
Oh, of course, yeah. I got to sit at the cool
Not
kids
us.
table.
I didn't mean us. Sorry. We're
No,
the
you're
least cool
good.
people you'll ever meet. But
No, you guys are awesome, man. And like I said, it was really fun being able to talk to you, Derek, when we were at the with Brian. But it just felt like so. I was like, man, I need to record this. Like this is, yeah. I was like, I need to hear this whole thing. So, like I said, I really appreciate you guys.
Well, thanks for
yeah,
having
likewise.
us.
So, do you guys? Oh, I want to so it's Brian. Is he here all like during the week or just on the weekends or what is he?
He's kind of on hiatus.
Okay.
Phone on me. He's going to be back one more time in December.
Okay.
And then everything kind of slows down as we get through January. So
Gotcha, okay.
He was here every Friday for a month and a half or so.
Okay.
You kind of give that a trial and see how it went for
Yeah,
him.
of
And I
course.
think it went well. I think
Oh yeah.
his crowds grew week after week. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything starts to.
Because they're all family businesses, so everyone wants to take off. And,
for sure. Yeah,
just
it's
got
that time
stuff
of
to
year.
do.
Or they have the catering.
Yeah.
Or they're making big money. Yeah, catering events.
Yeah.
But he'll be back in. I think it's the 19th. I don't know if that's the right day, but that's what pops into my head. But he'll be back in December, and then hopefully, I'd like to have him here every Friday, just in perpetuity.
Awesome.
As long as it's good for him, it's
Yeah.
great for us. So, yeah.
Well, sounds good. Well, like I said, I appreciate it. Probably have another beer, but I know
Yeah, take your time,
I really thank you. Everybody come down to Lahara Brewing in Norwalk, California, off of Carmenita and Excelsior. It's right off the 5 freeway. If you're going north, make a right. I'll make a left onto it, and then right on Excelsior. If you're going, that's great for audio. Then if you're going south, that would be north. Never mind, I messed up. I'll edit this part out. After check. Oh yeah, it's picking up easy, so we're back.
Oh, good.
All right, guys, I'm back here at Noble. I'm here with Josh. Can you tell us what's going on? What's going on? What's new at Noble, brother?
Well, quite a bit. So we last week we did have a couple of releases. I don't know if you guys had seen yet. We did the new felt Unhinged, which is one of Paul's and Jimmy's new hazies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a double.
Okay.
We actually it's been going really well. It's been a pretty big hit. But the big one we've also had, I don't know if you saw or we talked about. Did we talk about the Lake Arrowhead one?
Yeah.
So the California double is out.
Mm-hmm.
That one's been crushing it. They came down here, grabbed some,
Oh,
Jimmy and
awesome.
them hung out. So they were happy with it. And the can, if you haven't seen the can yet,
It's a cool ass can.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong a little bit.
Well, it has to go there. So Nintendo, the original Nintendo, the Town and Country surf game.
Yeah.
So that's what we went after, and I'm
Oh,
a
that's
huge
awesome.
fan. Yeah, so I was a huge fan of that game, and I've been wanting to do a label like that, and I figured it's a good combination.
Oh, for sure.
So, instead of the skateboarding, we did the snowboarding, but with Lake Arrowhead, it worked out pretty well. So, like, I was happy with it. Our artist, Mike, he did a great job and was able to take what I wanted to get it. So I was stoked on that. So those are the 2 new hazes we have out. And like I said, the California Double, for people who don't know, it doesn't mean it's a double IPA. So California Double normally means, at least here in Cali, you're able to go snowboard in the morning time and then go surf in the afternoon.
Yep.
So just in case, don't know what it means, that's what it goes for. But that one is a single hazy IPA. And then the Felt Unhinged was a double.
Okay.
So that was the latest one in the Felt series. And they're actually working on another one that will release in about 3 weeks.
Awesome.
On there. So that's coming out. Then the Maliki Kaliki Maka, I know we talked about it before.
Yeah.
So that release has been going really well. Shrunken Skulls has been killing it. In case you guys haven't tried it, you want a seltzer that has, let's say, base, not too much sweetness, but not like drinking flavored carbonated water. Like, I think we kind of nailed it right now with these.
Yeah,
coming
for sure.
out. So they're really easy. The only thing I will say is they do sneak up on you. I found this out last Friday.
There you
go.
Nice.
That I can tell you on. But if you want a little change up from beer or just standard seltzer, like it's very enjoyable to drink. So those have been great, which we built off of. So when's this one airing?
Tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. So, okay. So this is going to be a good week.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, we have Big Wig coming out. We changed the hops up a little bit.
Okay.
So the flavor profile is going to be a little different, but we're liking where it's going. Jimmy's pretty excited with it.
Nice.
We're hoping this is going to be what we run with, because like I told you before, we've been kind of tweaking it, trying to perfect it and actually, make a good West Coast that people enjoy. And I think this one's going to be it.
Yeah,
So
I haven't
I'm
had Big Wig in a while. It was the red, white, and blue can?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the red, white, and blue can. And so, like I said, Jimmy's, we've done, I think, four variations since we've all been here in the past year and a half. So, but this one, I think they locked it down with the hops, flavor profiles right now. Everything's going well. So we'll find out in a couple days. We'll go to can, so that'll be fun. But that comes out on Thursday. So definitely, anyone's going to try, come on down. It'll be on tap here, new version. And I think people are going to really like it.
Awesome.
And then we have, again, another 2 seltzer tiki drinks coming out.
Awesome. All right, what are those ones going to be?
So we did
Without spoiling too much, I know.
Not spoil. We did a painkiller. So it's a true painkiller. You're going to hit all the flavor profiles. So if anyone's ever had a painkiller, I know you had the R&D version.
Yeah.
So they've been playing with it a little bit more.
All right.
And this batch that we've done so far is going to be fire.
Sweet.
But this one will be 7%. So it'll be like the Watch Me Whip.
Okay.
So it won't be, it's not going to, you still get a buzz, but you're not going to, you have to watch yourself.
It's not going to sneak up on you like
not gonna sneak
the
other 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Watch Me Whip is coming back also. So we're, because that blew, we blew through, we blew through like 40, 50 cases like in 2 days.
Oh, damn.
So yeah. So we're up in the cases this time. So we'll have a good amount available in the tasting room. That's going to be a staple for a while.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. Not us having at least on tap. It'll be here. Cans, can't tell you, because I said we've been getting asked left and right to get those. Yeah. And then the third one that we're doing is the Norwegian Paralysis. Okay. So that was, if anybody was at the OC mashup, the Halloween event.
Oh yeah.
That the OC Brewers Guild put on. We did R&D batch. Jimmy and Paul again played with it. We talked to. We made a few friends in the tiki industry that have been helping us with the recipes to really narrow it down. And then I need to put a special thanks out for Tiki Tony. Okay. So anyone that's not really involved in the tiki genre and that stuff, at least around here in Cali, Tiki Tony, he's not going to say the biggest name out there, but most people do know him that are in the area, and his mugs are amazing. He has stuff on Tiki Land Trading Company. He's done stuff for Disney. That's cool. So he has, he's known, like I said, he's not the biggest name. Yeah. But he's probably one of the coolest dudes you meet. And he's just growing. I've been following him for a long time. And his work is amazing, does great artwork. And he was gracious enough to help us with these next 2 labels. Sweet. So, I got to see one of them. It's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. So we're pretty stoked, on those coming out. They're just cool artwork. And even saw the Maliki Kaliki Maka. That was also another design he did for us. So that's cool. It's been really, it's such a great can too. Dude, he did a great. I mean, I was awesome. Like I said, especially when I hit him up, like, "Hey, can we work together?" And when he offered to set design, I was like, "Dude, I'm stoked." Like I said, I love tikis, so
Cool.
I collect, and we go tiki bars, and so does Paul, and Jimmy does it with us. Like we're going through, and then also Ron, who's over on Sun currently, right? He's over there right now. He goes with us, so we go hang out. So we have fun and get our drinks. But this has been really a lot of fun, and we've made friends with Leonard and Dominic over Soway, and it's been fun, working and talking with them. So I mean, I know we're a brewery, but we're trying to have a little fun, change it up a little bit.
For sure. I mean, you gotta have to. I mean, you're always kind of evolving or growing and stuff like that. I mean, I would say like what Red says in freaking what's it called, Shawshank: get busy living, get busy dying.
So, but don't worry. If you guys are wanting new beer, I promise you we'll have some new beer on December 28th.
Mm-hmm. You guys just canned, was it the run?
Oh, yeah, we did just can. I should tell you about it. Yeah, so for today, we had the OC Craft Runner a holiday half marathon.
Yeah.
And so we did a special collab with them. So it's Run, Brewed Off Run.
That's awesome.
It's a double hazy IPA. It's available here only in Tasting Room. It's not going to distro, so you won't be able to find it anywhere else but here. But it's $18 for 4-pack. We did limited runs, 100 4-packs available.
Yeah.
We've gone through a good chunk, but we still have stuff left today. So again, this week sometime we'll have some around here. And if you like ugly sweaters, if you see the design on our Instagram, it's a cool design. And Mike did cool it. Yeah, Mike had fun with it, and we got that. Change it up a little bit and get Christmas spirit with everything going on. So we are stoked that. And like I said, did you get try yet or no?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first beer I had.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second.
Sorry.
Did I have right?
No, I get it. Yeah. So, like I said, it's pretty. It's not green. It's has good citrus notes.
Oh, for sure.
So I was like, it was very enjoyable.
It was super smooth.
Yeah. It's easy drinking. Like I said, for 7.5, it goes. It's
7.5. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, 7.5. Sorry, yeah, 7.5.
Oh,
so, yeah,
you're good. I didn't know 7.5.
Yeah. So it's definitely. Like I said, it's not a heavy double, but it's still easy drinking, enjoyable, and the craft runners, they loved it. And John and Tim and Lauren and them, they've been great. They want to do the event here. We were stoked with it. So we're glad we were able to do the beer for the event as well.
For sure.
That was a rush, but we got it done, and it's here and it's available. So we have that. But December 28th, we'll have another. We'll have 4 new beer releases. Then we'll have another 2 tiki drinks. So I'll tell you more later in a week or so when we get done.
I'm down.
But we have some good stuff coming out. Like I said, it's been a fun year, and I feel we've been kind of hitting our niche lately. I felt things are going. I mean, you've been around with us.
No, definitely. I feel like I think when Jimmy and I talked about it, was that 2 weeks ago when I hung out with Jimmy?
Yeah, I think
it was 2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, because it was the weekend of Thanksgiving, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to work. I couldn't get over here.
Yeah, so me and Jimmy got to talk, and it was just like you can just kind of like the way he was talking about it, like how they're kind of finding their groove or finding their, they're like you said, their niche, just being able to, putting things together when it comes to like the brews and stuff like that, tweaking little things that were, you already had a good beer, but they're tweaking those little things to make it even better.
Yeah. And that's what he's been doing. Like I said, this time with them playing with Big Wig, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Jimmy's excited. I'm like, he doesn't get excited too much on the beers.
That's good though.
I always laugh about him, Paul. Like, Paul doesn't know how to take compliments, and it's like, it's good. And he's like, right. But that's what me and Jimmy always.
I could totally picture Paul making that face.
Oh, he does. That's why me and Jimmy always laugh. We're like, yeah, okay. So, but I guess it's a good thing. I said, if you're never satisfied, it's good. It keeps you pushing, which it does. And they've been pushing, but Jimmy's actually excited right now. So, for him to be excited, I'm like, okay, like I'm happy because I'm all, my job is to push and sell the beer to people, and
sure.
If the brewer's happy, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And he's excited for Big Wig, and hopefully everybody else will, he'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And, it's a new version of it, but it's coming out and it's going to be fresh.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a true West Coast. And then they are working right now. Just give him. We are working on a new single hop West Coast.
Ooh, here we
go. So
Nice.
they got a new recipe. They're playing with it. That will come out on the 28th. I don't know if we're canning it yet. We might just put it in the tasting room first, do a little R&D, see what people think.
Yeah.
But that is coming along. We're going to have another couple of hazies. And I think we're going to do another porter also.
Okay.
So we're not going to do we're going to do a Baltic porter. It won't be over 10%, but I think we're going to do a little lighter, easier drinking.
Yeah.
Might do something a little bit of coconut. We'll see.
Nice.
So
I like that.
We're having some fun with this, so it'll be good.
Have you guys, because with the Harry Potter, because I know a lot of people reached out to me, like they were like, where is it at? Where can I get it at? I'm just like, it's at Noble. That's right. It's in the whole description. But I don't know if you guys had sold out or not.
No, we still. I mean, I think we're down to 3 cases. We don't have much. It's been going distro. I mean, Party Hood for like LA and San Bernardino. They're out. So that's what we were talking was like, do we do another big one? Like it's doing well, but like, or because again, like it's chilly in California, basically. It's only gonna be chilly, and when it's warmer, people
it's chilly for like 2 months.
Yeah, like we get to February, and like if we're sitting on some stuff, it's like okay, like people drink it, but it's not gonna be the go-to.
Yeah.
So we're talking about we're gonna try to keep on the whole Harry Potter theme.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do a little lighter, more drinkable porter.
Okay.
So that's what we're discussing. We're supposed to finalize that this week because we're on time crunch, but we'll get there. But yeah, I mean the Harry Potter one's been great.
Yeah.
And there's Ron.
There it is. What's going on?
Yeah. So
what's going on, guys?
No, you're good.
That's all right. I'm gonna leave it in.
Yeah. No. Oh, thank you. I was like, who's opening the door?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that happens when you're recording.
Especially here.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you get locked out.
Oh.
And then sometimes people just walk in.
And yeah, it happens either way around here. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, this place, I swear. So much fun.
Awesome. Now, do you guys have any other events coming up or like any like comedy nights or anything?
Yeah, so December 15th, the OC stand-up comedy, they're doing open mic again.
Okay.
As you saw, we have the stage back here in the back storage room. So we're going to hopefully open it up. I know they like the barrel room, and I'm talking to them again. I'm hoping they're going to do it in here because I feel they could probably, help me get a little bigger crowd. I know
for sure.
I know they like it closest in the barrel room, but, it might be fun in here if we can get a light for them and everything. So we're talking with them to try to but at least December 15th, it's a free event.
Okay.
So, and anyone can sign up. But it's first come, first serve. They only have so many slots. And it's free to do it. You get, I think, 5 or 6 minutes. And then if you you buy a beer, you get an extra like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we have them the 15th. And then Mute Vox is playing here again.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So Violetta's one of our beer tenders. It's her husband's. He's in the band, it's part of his band stuff. So they're going to play here again. We're excited because honestly, that event, that was a really good event when they were here.
Yeah.
So good people. They bring a crowd out, and they have really good music. And they got a couple new other bands they're bringing this time to play. So that will be and it's a free event too.
Yeah.
So that is free to do. Come on out. It's
sweet.
Yeah. All ages can come. We might wristband just to, keep tabs on.
There you go.
It's coming here, but people come in here and be fun. Like I said, it was a really good event last time, and we're looking forward to them coming back. And then just for holiday times, people know Christmas Eve we're going to be closed. We're going to let way people, even though it's a Sunday, it's kind of people go hang out with their friends and family.
Oh, of course.
But we will be open New Year's Eve before the Ducks game.
Awesome.
But we'll probably close after the game starts. That way, if anybody wants to go to a game or they want to go hang out with their friends for the evening, they can get out here. So we're not going to be late. But so people know, keep your eye on Yelp or Google. We'll have the hours on there. That's what's going on. Like we're just getting the brewery, nothing too crazy right now. We got a couple private events coming in here.
Okay.
But again, not publicly. So but we got a couple parties coming in here to celebrate and have a good time. We're finish the year out strong. But like I said, we have 2 more releases coming up, the 14th, which will be posted up this week about.
Okay.
And then the 28th, we'll have, that'll be the last candy run for the year, of course.
Awesome.
And then, next year, I'm looking forward to next year. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, I bet. I mean, it feels like it's like you said, just everybody in the brewery, like everybody kind of finding their groove together and stuff like that. It's only going to get better. So, I mean, it's already great, but it's only going to get better.
And that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Like I said, so it's going to be good. It's crazy. I can't believe it's December. When did we do the first podcast?
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
March.
I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like,
yeah, it was like March 25th or something around.
I know
that.
But I was like, I know it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. I think it aired the only reason I remember because I remember it aired the week when your episode did it because I recorded at Stereo that morning and then came over here in the afternoon. I think it was that one episode aired the weekend of WrestleMania. So,
Okay.
so it's
Oh
like,
yeah, because you're doing your barbecue and stuff. And everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's been a year, and I'm looking forward to next year. And we got some big plans in play, and hopefully everything comes to fruition, and we'll be next year will be a big year for us. So
Awesome,
I'm excited.
well, I'm here for the ride. So
I appreciate it. Like I said, appreciate always doing this and giving us some time.
Of course.
We love it, and the guys love talking with you. And
oh yeah.
we'll plan another day here soon so we can all joke around. And
I'm down. Fun. Yeah, I'm totally down for that because I was talking when I talked to Jimmy last time. We were talking about doing getting Cam on the show too, and so we'll have the 5 of us just kind of.
We'll plan it. Like I said, I'll talk with them and see if in the next few weeks. So let's get together.
Oh,
we'll hang out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll have we'll drink a few tiki drinks and see how it goes.
There we go. Might just bring the mics and set them up, and whatever happens. But yeah, thanks again for being on, brother.
I appreciate it. Have a good one. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Next week is... Well, I'm actually recording tomorrow, too, over at Angry Horse. So, Danny will be back. Danny Lopez. So that should be a fun one over at Angry Horse over in Montebello. Next week will be LA Brew Life. My buddy Art, honestly, he's a really nice dude. We got to have a fun conversation, so that should be a fun one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have, honestly, a really good week, man. Like, it just, and the holidays are coming. My mom's coming next week. That should be fun. Haven't had a Christmas with her in a few years, so that should be nice. But all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your week, and take care, Tap Fam. And to quote, can't remember the pitcher's name from Major League, but... Are you trying to say Jesus Christ couldn't hit a curveball? I fucked that up. I'm going to say it again. So, are you trying to say Jesus Christ couldn't hit... I had said it. I fucked it up again. Here we go. I'm leaving it in. Are you trying to say Jesus Christ couldn't hit a curveball? Banger. Major League. Take care, Fantastic.